Okay, welcome back to the Adventure Within channel. My name is Andrew Fritz. I'm a clairvoyant healer and meditation teacher, and today we have an interview with Gina Ann. She's a visionary storyteller, spiritual counselor, and intuitive healer whose work blends heart healing and imagination. Through her children's books, spiritual guidance, and on-screen performances, she offers children and adults alike a pathway to self-discovery, emotional resilience, and joy. Today, Gina is a psychic medium, spiritual counselor, inner child specialist, SAG-AFTRA actor, and Hay House published author with over 30 years of experience. Her background includes certifications in life coaching, imago therapy, and EFT taping, as well as a master's degree in spiritual psychology. A former para-educator with over 18 years of experience in academic, physical, and special education settings, Gina brings a deep understanding of emotional intelligence, creativity, and the importance of play in shaping a child's well-being. Hi, Gina. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Andrew. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I really look forward to our discussion and our conversation. I always like to kind of begin with just kind of get an idea of where things started for you. But at what point in your life, when and how did you really get into spirituality?
Okay. And spirituality again is like such a buzzword now. So for
Mhm.
me, I've always had the gifts. I grew up in Texas with
Mhm.
three brothers, an alligator named Charlie in the tank. And I would go down there and write poetry and read stories and, can kind of feel the animals, can feel people. And,
Hmm.
always fascinated with like psychics and fortune tellers. And I always liked to, for Halloween, dress up as a gypsy. So I believe I've always had it. We just didn't discuss it in the home.
Sure.
So raised Catholic, very loose
Mhm.
Catholic, but as I went through the years, always read books about what spirituality and the soul and it wasn't until later in life when I'll say uh, the world crumbled.
Mm.
My dad died, divorce, kids, and I couldn't get a job. I was a special education teacher for over 18 years in Palos Verdes and could not get a job after that. And
Mm.
every door closed until it was leading me into this is what I'm supposed to do.
Mm.
So psychic medium. I got a master's in spiritual psychology and certified in life coaching, tapping, somatic therapy,
Oh, wow.
but I didn't an MFT
Mm.
because it check marks and because I'm a medium, you
Mhm.
know, grandmother's here. They would probably throw me out of the state of California. Oh, spirituality was getting to the soul level. I always say getting to the umbilical cord.
Mm.
So whatever's happening in one's life, it
Mm.
it always goes back to the umbilical cord and the ancestry behind it.
Mm.
For me, that's what spirituality is. It's not the topical, it's going deeper to the level.
Yeah.
It's like the tree. You may have the apples on top, you got to go to the roots and the seed.
Yeah. I like
And
that. That
we're like trees. We're all connected underneath.
I like that. Yeah, I resonate with that a lot. It makes a lot of sense. Can you talk about maybe just does anything stand out like this was kind of very much turned on for you in kind of your childhood? Like were you feeling things a lot more or like what abilities really did you notice the most and was there an experience that kind of stood out to you as a child?
Yeah, well, one, my brothers and everyone would make fun of me. Oh, you're so sensitive because I could
Mm,
feel other people.
yeah.
Feel when they're hurting. I could walk in a room and feel them and hear things, but I was like, what am I hearing? And I used to talk to, I thought I was talking to myself, but I really wasn't. So, people
Mm,
were like, who are you? I didn't want to say ghost or I thought they're
right.
going to think, but I can hear. I used to hear voices. Like I said, even with the alligator, I felt I could hear the alligator. Why I wasn't afraid, I don't know if that's ignorance or, Charlie could have come out and pulled me in the water in the tank, but
Yeah.
I wasn't afraid.
I was going to
So I
ask about
really,
that because that's a really unique thing to have a pet alligator, especially in childhood. So I was going to wonder, was for most people they probably immediately think like, they're fearful about that, but for you it seems like there wasn't the fear, and you're able to have this kind of connection with the alligator, Charlie.
yeah. I mean, again, I would write poetry, read stories to Charlie, and I would throw the crust of the bread.
Mm.
Charlie would come out in the water, his little pop up through the
Hmm.
water. He would eat it, and again, I wouldn't go in the water. I was,
Sure.
not to go in the little tank, but we lived on 60 acres unmanicured, a small little town, and um, And he's in one of my books. I write children's books, and Charlie debuted in one of my books.
That's so cool.
Great. Again, I wouldn't go swim in the lake, but
Sure, sure. Yeah.
I would that.
That's very cool. Yeah, because I grew up in the middle of the woods, and we didn't have alligators, but definitely a lot of surrounded by a lot of animals, and something
Thanks.
being in nature and around different animals was very healing and something I enjoyed as a kid. So I can relate to
Hey,
that.
went. That's I feel like when you're connected to nature, that is spiritual. That is what true spirituality is.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I do want to get into your book series a little later because I have a lot of questions with that. But first, I know you're an artist, you're a performer. Can you talk about some of your experiences in film and TV and anything else?
Absolutely. I love storytelling.
Mm,
I love storytelling and the art of imagination. And, when I was a teacher, for me, teaching life skills and imagination was much more important. And you could find out a lot about children. And they were all ages, from preschool to high school and ranging from autism to, assault, addiction, emotional issues. And so there was a wide range. And how
mm,
I got in, I just said, oh, I think I'll try out for a background. Boom.
mm.
With Steve Carell, and the director said, "Oh, I'm going to give you a SAG card." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I didn't know. Great,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's so fun to step into another role and as another
Mm.
person, and for me, it's my playground. It's really fun. Again, the imagination. Where can you go dress up, be someone else, and get paid for it?
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun. I imagine it's fun just being on a set and just kind of like watching the actors or actresses and then even like the crew. Like that's got to be interesting from that perspective because not a lot of people have that experience. Was that something you really enjoyed, just kind of the watching everything unfold?
Because I like a story. So
Right.
watching it all come together. I mean, everyone has a piece. I love being in front of the camera and behind the camera.
Mm.
I've produced, just little things. And it's so fun because then when you see the final cut, it's like, wow, how, like one scene can take, 3 hours. And yet they may show just a little bit. But then when you put it all together, it's beautifully orchestrated.
Yeah, yeah. And then I think I read that you also did like voiceovers. Is that something that you got
Yeah.
into as well? Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to try everything. I mean, if I go in, I go all the way. So I
Nice.
wanted to cross the board. And so I've done voiceovers for features, for plays, for
Mm.
commercials. It's just fun to, I don't do unusual voices. It's usually my own because
Yeah.
I've done meditations and
Hmm.
so it's fun. Again, it's all about the storytelling and imagination. But what is imagination? It's of a certain type of intelligence. People
Mm.
think of it's just academia, but no, it's the imagination. It's arts. It's very healing. Music, sound, it all has frequency to it and energy.
Yeah. I want to get in later, kind of yourself as a psychic medium, but I kind of want to tie that maybe a little bit into the art and the performing. Um, did you sense that? Because everyone kind of has a different way of doing it, whether they're conscious or unconscious of that process. I mean, did you feel like you were channeling it all as an artist in certain situations or not? Or I guess what was the spiritual side of things when you were in those settings?
You mean in the creative arts
Creative
settings?
arts, yeah, yeah, yep.
Yeah, it was just my inner child going and playing and
Ah,
um, tapping into it. I mean, I'm always reading, so
sure.
even when I'm on, set, it's like it just comes out. So I'm
Hmm.
always reading. As far as like stepping into the character itself and channeling it through psychic media, no, not really. I mean, it
Mm.
could come and have an idea. For me, it's just uh, developing a character through life experiences
Ah,
and everyone that's crossed my path, right? That I've
sure.
met, taking a piece of this and a piece of that.
Got it.
So
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, that
But I'm
makes
all,
sense.
I could read other people and their characters and, oh, I see how this character, they developed this. And
Ah,
we're
is that?
always, I feel like even if we go to the grocery store,
Mm.
we have versions of ourselves. So we all are kind of like acting in a way, but a
Oh,
part of ourselves. And a character is usually an embodiment of ourselves.
I see. Very cool. And then also, kind of on this topic, you got into writing. Like, how did writing come about? And how did that lead you into the book series, the JoJo book series?
I've written my entire life, even in high school and junior high. I've always written stories, and so I've always been a writer. But when I was received a master's in spiritual psychology at USM, and for my second year project, I'm like, oh, I'm going to write a children's book. They're like, have you ever written a book? I'm like, no. And so I just heard this character, felt this character, dreamt about this character, JoJo.
Mhm.
She's after Angel Jophiel, which is the archangel of beauty and children, and so I just got, oh, she's from the galaxy, the wings of children, and I wrote it out, and then I couldn't find an illustrator, so I looked everywhere. I don't know how to draw a stick figure, so I called, hey, this is my second year project, and I don't know, do you have illustrators? So I sent the manuscript. I said, oh, we'd like to publish it. I'm like, oh, okay, and that's how it became. And then I've just written a series, and my dream is for her to be an animation. So, Brothers and PBS. I'm a creator. I'm not the business part, so it's like
Mhm.
I need help with someone pitch Bibles and decks, and
Yeah.
I'd rather just say, here's all the stuff, and then how do we do it?
Yeah, like how do we, yeah, that makes sense. I can understand that for sure. Um, what was the writing process like? Even just say for the very first one, was it very fast and effortless? Was there periods where you kind of like you get writer's block and stop and then have to kind of work through that? Like what was that like for you?
So the first one, Oh No Jojo, again, she's my inner child,
Hmm.
was about in oneself. So she has a magical red stone, and she has wings, and she ripped her wing, and she thought, what am I without my wing? I can't fly. I'm worthless, right?
Mm. Oh yeah.
Journey either of generosity of spirits, of critters coming in, and all my characters are based like the spider who did a gold thread, was his name is Mr. Ruth, my government teacher. It's like people who
Ah.
have come to life, and I try to pick characters that I was afraid of, like the snake Naga.
Mm.
Naga is a snake in chef. It's like I was very afraid because we had a lot of snakes in Texas, and
Sure.
bees, and so really it was easy. It was a project, so it luckily the first one came very effortlessly.
Ah.
And then I, at the end of the book, then the second one came, and that's where Charlie is. And then the third one is after my son. He
Mm.
loves bats. So it's Jojo meets Christo, and he's a bat. And then the fourth one is Bobo. She's a sea angel. That's my daughter, Megan. So
Oh,
they're
okay.
inspired because my son is very protective, and,
Mm.
my nurturing. And then the fifth one that just became live is Jojo Rides the Rails. I hopped a freight train 10 years ago from, from Ventura to Ojai. And so it's kind of like
Oh,
Jojo
okay.
hop, because I was always fascinated with hobos and gypsies,
Wait, can you
and
talk?
so
That's Yeah, can you back up and talk about that? Because that sounds because I had a period of time where I was actually homeless in California for a couple months, and it was semi like intentional. It was like more like, hey, I'm gonna test myself and have an adventure slash just kind of the situation I'm in at the moment. So that's really fascinating. Could you share that experience if you're open to that, or?
really when I was a teacher, and I was reading Mark Twain to them. I mean, I'm not recommending everyone go hop a freight train because
Sure, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
personally could be considered illegal.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, and again, I think there's similarities, but also differences in homeless and hobo. Like the hobos, their time was they were hopping the freight train for jobs, right?
Sure, sure.
And so it was really interesting. Met a lot of people, and was actually sitting in the freight train when the snake, the train would stop, would go off, and it was all filmed on a GoPro, and
Oh, cool.
really fascinating, and really like no shower. It was really interesting. I met so many people, and we visited a veteran center, and was speaking to all the veterans, and
Yeah.
fun, really humbling, because
Yeah.
although I knew I was coming home,
Sure.
it wasn't I was playing a role. I'm like, wow, I mean, I was so grateful that at least I can go home and I have a
Yeah.
job,
Right.
others, and but it was very exciting, kind of scary, like having to wait for the train and hop, and where are
Yeah.
we going, and so it was really, really, I would say, probably one of the best adventures that I've had and learning experiences.
That's so
Again, I'm
cool.
not hopping a freight train, but
Sure, no, I understand that. Um, in kind of some of my similar experiences, there was this it seemed like very much a dichotomy, like almost these extremes of like sometimes I'd feel moments of like misery, but then these like extreme joy in that experience that I had. And then also like feeling incredibly spiritually connected, like really almost even more connected or noticing it more with like my higher self in those experiences. Did you notice that at all for yourself in those experiences or something different?
I did. I feel in those moments, we're all sometimes we get very attached to the outcomes,
Mm,
meaning this, we need that, we need this. So this is what spirituality is I had to rely on my incomes, meaning my self-worth, my self-belief,
mm,
what's important in life, rather than, oh, I need that dress and I need this money to pay this bill. It was like I had to go inside. And it was
yeah.
about, again, my legacy that I hope to leave for my children are as a mother and legacy of humanity, not, okay, yes, I write children's books. Yes, I've been an actor. Yes, it's the humanity of never
Mm,
giving up, being humble and not being revengeful and not being unkind. And,
mm,
when traumas happen, I mean, my story is your story, just different characters.
mm, mhm. Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
Freight train, that was another lesson of and legacy of humanity. I mean, sharing stories with one another, listening, and that's why I do the work that I do. It's not about just psychic medium and a crystal ball. It's
Sure.
psychic therapy. That's why I
Right.
introduce action tools. How do I get you? I've had many clients who have come in. One gentleman, 60 years old, came in with $20, and he says it was either coming in here or buying a rope.
Mm,
So
wow.
I took the $20 at the end. I got him into a animal shelter to help animals, and his
Ah.
trauma in utero with his mom, and
Mm,
then I give action tools of, okay, how can we do it right now? I'm not the solution. I'm just the conduit and the messenger,
mm,
and it's free will and choice. That's
yeah.
true spirituality. Like religion for me is man-made and created by someone else. Spirituality is created by us.
Yes. Yeah.
I took $20. I said, I'm going to tell you telling you why I'm taking your $20, because with this $20, I'm going to buy me, my son, and my daughter an ice cream. He started crying. So he felt a sense of worth because he paid for to turn it into something that I'm sharing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's that's really cool. Thank you for sharing that. Um, and I do want to get into your work as a medium and the healing. Before we get there, I want to. So you mentioned you're a mother. Um, And so I find that's got to be an interesting. I'm about to become a father. My wife is, I think she's just about 6 months pregnant. So we're gonna have a baby girl, and I'm super excited and afraid and all of that all together. And
but
yeah, and I'm curious because like a lot of parents don't have the always the opportunity to have their gifts or abilities turned on where they can communicate before they're born or just have a certain connection with them even when they're physically here. Is there anything that stood out to you as far as the before or like after they're born, just kind of communicating with them psychically?
absolutely. So the twofold, and it's very symbiotic. So at 12, I saw my son. I knew
Hmm.
I was going to.
Oh, wow.
I drew him, and I labeled, and I did a magazine, and I cut it out. And then, I had him at 27. And when I gave birth to him, my cousin goes, "That's who you saw at 12." I
Oh,
go,
wow.
"Yeah, I knew I had too, but I saw my son vividly."
Yeah.
So I knew I was going to become a mom. I always wanted, and I saw him.
Hmm.
I saw Chris. And what's interesting is because I can read so many people,
Hmm.
but it's hard to read them or my own stuff because I'm
Oh, sure.
emotionally. They're like, "How do you read?" I said, "Well, it's like a cardiologist can't perform surgery on themselves."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Always can feel them, but
Hmm.
that was, I just knew. And everyone says it's a knowing. It's not a
Hmm.
belief. Belief, you're still, and like it's like hope. Hope, you're still waiting, right?
Hmm.
Belief,
Yeah.
waiting. Knowing, I knew.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
I
That's a
just knew I was going to have another baby, but I saw Christopher vividly. And when he was born, I had a C-section and they nicked the uterus, and so blood is going, and they put him on. I'm telling you, he came out. He did not cry.
mm,
They put him in my arms. He smiled. I'll never forget. And the world disappeared.
I'm sure. Yeah.
That was heaven on earth.
Oh, wow.
I feel like that's what we're here for, to create whatever your heaven is, or definition of heaven on
Yeah.
earth. And my daughter's was very traumatic. The cord was wrapped. But
Mm,
again, put her in my arms. Everything stopped. The
ah,
world stopped. That's
yeah.
true connection with God, universe, spirit, source, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. That's really cool. I like that. Yeah, I like that notion or concept of the, bridging heaven and earth. And I imagine, yeah, that the birth experiences where everything kind of disappears, that's gonna be a very powerful moment. So yeah, I look forward to that.
And and because we do give birth, yes, we are connected, right? The umbilical cord. For me, the belly button is so overlooked or
Mhm.
underlooked.
Mhm.
First source of life and breath and food. And a lot of times when people are in trauma, I'm like, just rub your belly button. It's your first
Mm.
source.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah.
one of my modalities. There's science behind it too. Again, I like when the science, procreates with the woo woo or the magic or whatever you want to call it.
Sure. No, I think yeah, I think it grounds it for a lot of people, and that's what's helpful. Otherwise, sometimes it's might be harder for some people to really dive into it. But I do like that blend of the science and the mysticism. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, well, it's all science, really.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do I like tarot cards? And no, sure, they're just a visual. I don't
Right.
care what they mean. I never read the book.
Mhm.
They're beautifully in visual, and people like to see visual. And they usually confirm what I'm saying.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I guess can you talk about let's start with just you as a healer, as an intuitive healer. Whether it's in your personal life or just like professional, like to you, what is an intuitive healer and just maybe some of your experiences as a healer.
So, as I can't heal anyone, what I can
Mm,
do is just give you what I'm feeling, seeing, and hearing.
mm,
And again, I'll say my psychic gifts are I can see, feel, hear. I'm Italian, I taste.
mm,
So, like, if I'm channeling a body, I'm not a doctor. I could
mm.
just tell where there's like I could tell you
Oh yeah,
something
yeah.
a clench, and that's
Yep.
very common. Feel it right away.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so some of the experiences of I felt like, okay, I could feel something in the body. I'm like, just check it out. Of course, I'm all for Western medicine.
Yeah.
Don't I'm doctor. I always make a disclaimer. So a lot, I've done that, and or one lady said, I I don't think they said I can't have a baby. I'm like, oh, I see a boy. I see a little
Right.
boy face, and a year and a half later, she calls me. She goes, I'm pregnant with a boy. And they're like, how do you know this? I'm like, honestly, there's no logic to it. Look, I'm getting chills. That's one of my body's truth.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I'm honest. I'm like, listen, I don't know. It's just I'm a channel. Like as a
Hmm.
medium, someone in, they just give me that.
Yeah.
I can't really take credit for it. It's just I embrace the gifts, and I think
Hmm.
embracing the gifts is trusting it. Because once you question it, now you're in your head.
Ah, right. Yeah.
So when you say it resonates, that means you have a knowing it. You feel it in your body,
Hmm.
and everything starts in the feeling of the body. So
Hmm.
when we do, like when there's pain in the lower back, it's usually scarcity around money. Or
Hmm. Yeah.
for me, left side is feminine
Hmm.
and abundance and money, and my right side is masculine
Hmm.
and relation. So I usually feel a buzzing.
Ah, okay. So I imagine because I am also very sensitive as well. Was it confusing? You may have mentioned this earlier as we were chatting. The confusion of like what you're feeling, thinking like, oh, this must be because I'm feeling this. This must be mine. Like, did you feel like at first like, oh, this is something's off with me, and then eventually realizing, wait a second, I'm picking up something from somebody else or something
Yeah.
else.
What a great question. I mean, all your questions are just really on point. Yes,
Mm.
like when I was younger, I'm like, maybe something's wrong with me, maybe, or like I know I feel different than
Yeah,
everyone. You try to navigate and fit in the best way you know how.
yeah.
Um, yeah, there are times like if I'm feeling very sad or low, I'm like, okay, does this belong to me? And this is how I teach someone else. I'm like, does this belong to you or is it belonging to someone else? And I'm not a big meditator. Like I can't do it for. I don't like to do it for like hours.
Yeah, yeah.
I can do it very quickly. I can just clear myself at center, but I do like quiet, a moment. I say either a quiet moment of prayer or just, again, this is imagination. You can go into la la land. That's about manifestation.
Hmm.
Imagine what you want and what you are feeling. So, sometimes it's my children. Like, you'll be able to recognize
Hmm.
your daughter. You'll be able to recognize if it's a hurt cry, a hungry cry, a
Ah,
potty cry. How do we know that? That's the feeling, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you'll feel it. So sometimes it does belong to me. Sometimes I can't identify it, to be quite honest. And I'm
Mm.
like, okay. And I just ask like God or Spirit, I'm like, okay, show me a clear message. Like
Mm.
my way, and he I always see dimes and nickels, and then
Ah,
one day I said, and I tell people, you just ask for guidance. They want to help you. All the angels and the spirits want to help you. I was worried about my son Christopher and Megan. I knew they were okay. They live close to me, but I'm like,
yeah.
something me? Is this my daughter, my son? And I said, Dad, show me that they're okay. Show me a flamingo. Like, where am I going to see a flamingo? Right? Flamingo on the back of a driver's license. So I'm like,
Oh,
oh.
okay. That's
And then,
that.
and then, hey, Mom, how are you doing? I'm like, okay, even double confirmation. Thank
Mm.
you. So
I love that. I love yeah, just seeing those signs like that are just right there. It's not gonna make sense to anybody, but you look at it and you're like, ah, yeah, there we go. This is fun. It's kind of amusing, and you're like, oh, this makes sense.
I love, for me, I think what makes me different, I like interactive. And I think those are
Mm.
my years teacher. I like interacting.
Mm.
Like, I don't want to just stand up there and lecture or, just
Ah,
read you. That's fine, but
yeah.
let's interact how we get. And a lot of people think, oh, I don't want to say too much. I'm like, no, you're testing. It's fine.
Ah,
Or you allow me in, the more, whoo, I can see.
yeah, yeah. Um, because so taking a step back, so you said you work with like those with like special needs, right? Like autism or yeah?
Everything, yeah, I did for
Okay.
18 years. Again, everyone has a challenge and everyone is special. So, you
Yeah.
know, it just depends what it is. There were children, like I said, that were going through that had sexual assault or
Mm.
addiction. I worked at addiction center. I worked in a domestic violence shelter, a
Mm.
homeless. Um, all of us. That's why I'm really into the inner child
Mm.
because everybody's a little child within them.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I saw you barefoot
Mm.
as a child.
Hmm.
Barefoot. I don't know.
Yep. That's yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there's pictures and there's probably even video of me as a kid. Because I grew up like a quarter mile in the woods and
Oh,
like I love nature. So yeah, there's pictures of me wandering around the grass and things like that near trees and yeah, barefoot.
there.
Yeah.
Everyone's like that because
Yeah.
like right now, you allowed me in because resonates. We have a soul trust where there's no agenda, and I
Yeah.
saw you. Didn't even bother you. And listen, in the woods, there's stickers, there's rocks, we didn't even think of it.
Right. Yep.
Think of it. So
Yeah. Um, so like those was like say someone with autism, I know sometimes there might be uh, like an external judgment on some of these type of people, but then when you maybe look at it from a spiritual side of things, maybe just because they might have a quote unquote condition, like spiritually they could be doing great, or maybe they're actually quite evolved as a soul, right? Is that anything
that
you could speak to with that, or
took the words from my mouth.
oh?
Everyone, they are very evolved. They
Hmm.
are dimension.
Hmm.
I had one. Uh, we telepathically talked. I,
Hmm.
and again, this is where I knew I had it, but I didn't have the label for it. Right?
Sure.
Her name was Elizabeth, and we would sit. and soul gaze.
Mm,
And, and I was telling, it'll be okay. You'll be able to go.
mm.
And she put, and that was it. She understood without me even saying anything. So they're all children have, you know, it gets a bad rap, these labels
Yeah, 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 yeah.
or perceptions. I know we have to have labels in order to have conversation
Yeah.
but they're very highly evolved. Children come in, we all come in this world knowing all the answers, and then life experiences take over, and it, remember, it gets tucked away. Like you said, you had it as a child, and you just tuck it away. You always had it.
Yeah.
Tuck it away and put it on pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you I don't know if I was did that person pass? The one you're communicating with telepathically, or what did you mean by that?
Elizabeth, no, she was a student of mine,
Oh,
and
oh,
very upset over something, and we made eye contact, and I'm saying it's okay, you'll be able to go, it'll be fine.
oh, 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 okay, I see. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, but I can speak to, I can hear them, and sometimes they'll translate.
Ah, yeah,
I
yeah.
code, and I translate, not literally, unless sometimes I can challenge. They'll come through me, and they're like, oh my god, that's exactly how he sounded.
Oh, okay, yeah. Actually, that's a perfect segue. So you as a psychic medium, so it sounds like you just said like sometimes you just kind of hear and kind of relay messages, and other times they're fully coming through. Um, can you maybe share like what, in from your side of things, what's the difference in those experiences? Because I imagine it sounds kind of very different for you.
Yeah, it's not cookie cutter, right? Everyone
Yeah,
is different. Come in, they come in.
right.
Um, call someone in if you'd like. Like right now, I'm getting warm,
Hmm.
so you have people around you
Hmm.
that you connect with because I'm getting very warm.
Ah,
So, and it feels like female energy around you because my left arm is like very tingly,
okay.
like that. And someone who had a very, like, I don't know if they sang or something, but their throat, and there's something about and around a grandmother or something in the voice is very distinctive.
Hmm. Yeah, I've got actually two grandmothers that are both on the other side. So yeah.
I felt female, your mom's side.
Ah, okay, got it.
So I have lots of experience. They're all different, the channeling, because if I'm going in the, people record, write down, because I won't remember
Hmm.
um, what I said. There's been just people coming back like, remember when you said, I'm like, no, I don't, because I've seen so many people, and you were right. My mom did leave that. I'm like, because they'll say like, oh, whatever. It's not like, oh, the jewelry's in the drawer, but something to
Yeah.
that effect. Right. I checked, and yeah, my grandma did do that. Oh, okay, great.
Oh, that's cool.
Um,
So is it one of those experiences like for you, it's like, hey, I don't know what this means. And it's just like, but then it really means something for them. But for you, it's just kind of like, hey, here's the information dump and then take it. Is that kind of what it's like for you or?
But it's very rewarding. I
Yeah.
feel like because, this is where I can't read myself. Like I can ask my dad, but I don't hear. Like I
Mm,
can't channel him to
I
come through.
I see. Yeah.
Um, so when I can do that for others, rewarding.
Yeah. That's so cool. Um,
And they're like, how do you carry that? And well, I have to learn to, clear it, especially when there's a lot of trauma, you
oh,
know,
right.
I can't hold on to it or else I would be on the ground. So I have to clear myself. And how I do it, like sometimes I go in and I take a shower or a salt bath, or I just literally clear it, or I drink water and breathe. Whew, okay, clear. It's very heavy. I love all the tools. I love Palo Santo. I love candles. I mean, those are always really fun. And like on full moons and new moons, I like making moon water and setting intention. And that's
Yeah.
very much as well. It's
Yeah.
physics.
I like that. I'm glad you brought that up because I know sometimes around mediumship, there's always this thing sometimes with like someone's well-being or their health because of the work that they're doing. It can be a lot of intense energy. So it sounds like you found a way for yourself to kind of cleanse yourself and not collect and hold on to that. And I think that's really important. So I imagine it's easier to kind of continue doing it or just even just life in general. So yeah.
I teach intuition to others, and I also teach it like when they're like, I'm overwhelmed. And it's back to your question. Well, does this belong to me or someone else? When
Mm,
you're in a situation at work, you're empathic or sensitive, or you're carrying the energy, so you have to clear yourself as well. You don't have to be a psychic medium or an intuitive counselor. We all carry it.
right, right.
In the net, it just goes in different places, so we all have to clear it. They're like, oh, I didn't think. I'm like, yes, you're carrying it just like I am, just in
Yeah.
a different, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. Well, you mentioning I always find for myself and other people sometimes what we perceive as a weakness is sometimes a really great gift or like forte almost. And the fact that you mentioned my throat, like there's a lot I hold there that I'm still working and letting go of. So this is the thing that I'm passionate about, but there's also the struggle there. So that's the clenching and all that. That's something I'm still continuously working through. So
And
yeah.
you will, even as we're speaking, I'm doing energy work, so you will get thirsty.
Hmm.
And you
Yeah.
felt it like really strong. And it's not about, you know how to speak, and you're very good with people, and you're magnetic. They
Hmm.
listen. What it is speaking the truth. Because what you're showing me when you were young, you accommodated, you were an observer, you made sure the room was clear before you walked in,
Hmm.
and everyone's okay. Make sure everyone's okay first.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yeah.
now it's about you coming first and speaking your truth. It's not about speaking louder or anything like that. And
Yeah.
it's the left side, which is the mother side.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, mom, you you paid attention to your mom
Hmm.
throughout. Not that your dad was not important. It's just I
Yeah.
felt your mom. You know.
Yep. Yeah. That's
So it's a
cool.
love side that you're breaking. What I'll say, DNA and ancestral. I don't like to say curses, but belief systems.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, that's it's a, like the belief systems or limitations. Is that something in your did you like these sessions? Do you work with people in person or online or how does that work? How do you do that?
all of it.
All of it, yeah.
Online person. I could read anywhere. That's the thing. I don't need, candlelit area. We could be right in the alleyway and I can read you, or in a
Mm.
grocery. I was on set last week and I was in hair and makeup. I was on Criminal Minds, just yay. See,
Oh,
it's just,
cool.
and so I got a message for one of the main actors, and I'm like, told that, and the hair goes, oh God, you got a message. I'm like, yes, but I don't know. He's open to hear it. And he
Yeah.
goes, would ask, and I'm like, sure. And then and she had to go back into makeup because she was crying, and I'm like, I'm here to deliver it, I'm
Yeah.
however you receive it, and I want to be respectful to everyone. You don't want to just go, oh, I have a message for you, because it
Right.
may not. But she was so lovely, lovely, lovely. And what's great is yes, she's this big actress, but she's human. We connected on that soul level.
Right, right.
So,
Yeah.
and I wish I could just like do this, what I call for free, but
Mm.
live, and we do have to pay bills. So this is my living. I don't mind sharing,
Yeah.
and but I obviously, I used to be like, oh, this is a gift. I shouldn't. And I'm like, no, no, we, I teach others to get value for what they do.
Right.
It's, and you do have to make a living. I always tell people, don't catch yourself on fire to warm others.
Mm.
Share the warmth.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, sometimes people might not be able to, they're not ready to hear or have the message, but then there's some people that are like her that you're mentioning, the actress, like she was ready to hear or have that. Um,
It's
uh,
open, and it's been great.
yeah. Yeah, I look forward to a time where that's like a norm. Like that's like an everyday thing of just, you see someone and like spirit is like a normal everyday talk or conversation. I feel like we're a long ways from that, but I think that's where we're headed.
Spirituality is it's connecting.
Hmm.
It could, hello, how are you? Even that's a
Right.
connection. I moved. to California. I was 18 from Texas, and
Mhm.
Texas was, "Yeah, sir, how are you? What would you like?" I remember coming here and I'd be in an elevator. I'm like, "Hello, oh yes, ma'am. Oh, don't call me ma'am." And why are you talking to me? I'm
Uh,
like it's not about California. It's just it was such a
just different.
culture so used to being friendly and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
come on in, you
Right.
know. And that's for me, that's spirituality,
Yeah.
human level through our soul's truth.
Hmm. I like that. Um, yeah, so you do this in person, online. There's that you can do this in different ways. So how do people connect with you? If they want to like, hey, I want to learn more about you, or I want to book a session with you, or anything else that you offer, how do they find you?
They can go through my website or just call me. I'll give you my number. I'm about connection. I just give my number
Hmm.
and we'll set something that's convenient because I have clients all over the world. So we'll do WhatsApp or we'll do whatever works for you. A lot of people like in person. And
Okay.
again, playing with the language, psychic medium, intuitive spiritual counselor,
Yeah.
everybody has what I call a feeling on it or an opinion on it.
Sure, sure.
And that's okay.
Yeah, I like all of them. So it's
But
yeah.
some psychic medium because it's like, ah,
Ah,
the devil,
okay. Yeah.
so I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, I yeah, that's why I love doing this, is because it's I like interacting with people that, hey, they understand this, they want to learn more about it, or share it with the world, and all of that. So I think more and more over time, people will be like, oh, it isn't this scary, terrible thing. It's this actually beautiful thing. Like you said, we all have within ourselves. So yeah. So I want to, can you share your website that they can connect with you with?
Yes, it's Gina, Giann, author, AUTHOR, sorry, .com.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and I'll link that below in the description, make it easier for people to just click it and kind of go right to your website. So
Reach out, my phone number's on there, and just say, hey, I saw you on your show, your podcast, and absolutely.
awesome. At the very end, I always like to leave a little bit of time. You don't have to utilize it, but if you want to, absolutely. Just for a final message, if there's anything that you feel like, hey, we didn't really touch on, or you're just kind of inspired to communicate some sort of message to the audience. Yeah, I just want to give you time and space to do that now.
You know, so as my head's buzzing, even though this is recorded and it's going out there, I already feel
Mm,
that connects with it is going to resonate in many ways,
mm,
um, because it's relatable. What we're talking about is, again, like I said at the beginning, my story is your story
mm.
is her story, their story.
Yeah.
And if you have a question, just
Mm,
ask. Because
mm.
if you don't, and again, I feel like we all are here on Earth School to create heaven on earth. And unfortunately, fortunately, on Earth School, we get the pain first, then the lesson.
Yeah. Yep.
So trust that gut, and intuition is the head, the heart, and
Mm,
the gut. It's all of it. So when you have that little feeling, once you start overthinking it, ruminating it,
hmm.
different direction. And we're all here available. What you're doing is important because you are spreading the love and spreading the word and
Mm.
spreading. This is about humanity, and this is why we're here to evolve our soul.
Yeah. I love it. I agree with that. Awesome. Gina, this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed, I feel like our conversation flowed and felt very organic and natural. And I appreciate you coming on and taking the time to chat with me.
Pleasure, and whatever I can do to support you as well. And I'm here. Now we're connected.
Awesome.
Or however or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you again. Everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode. We'll see you next time. Take care. Have a great day.